Hey, welcome back to Muscle Smart. Today I'm going to be showing you what types of curls I do to get these big guns. First we're going to be going through what free weight exercises I do, because I feel like that's what people have the most access to. Then we're going to do a few on the cable machine, because a lot of people also have cable machines, and I feel like cable machines really give you a good workout, and I'll explain to you why. So, let's check out some free weights. Okay. My absolute favorite curls exercise to do with free weights is the hammer curl. Now, in order to do a hammer curl, you can have a dumbbell like this, and you're going to curl, keeping your elbow at the same pivot point. That's important for all curls. Keep your elbow in the same spot. Bring the weight up like this. So, what makes this different from a regular curl is you're coming up this way rather than this way. So your palm is not up. The top of your fist is up, like you're hitting a hammer, like that. So we're going to do 3 reps of 10 is what you're going to want to go for. Don't bring your elbow up with you like this. I see a lot of people at the gym do this. That's not helping you. That's just using your shoulder muscle to help you get the weight up. So keep your elbow in the same place. Don't come out like that. And don't swing it. Don't swing your body. If you need to swing, then you need to use lighter weight, because you're going to get much more isolation in your bicep muscle if you don't swing and you keep good form. More isolation means bigger muscles. So we're just going to do 3 sets of 10. Next we've got standard curls. Now those are your typical curls where you're going to stand and curl up, keeping your elbows in the same position, and you're going to keep your palms facing up towards you. Nice and slow. Don't jerk your body around. Feel the muscle contract. Try to flex it at the top. You're going to do 3 sets of 10 of those as well. Now if you're just beginning on biceps, you're not going to do all of these exercises in 3 sets of 10. In fact, you're probably not going to do all of these in your bicep workout to start out. This is if you've already gotten some gains on your biceps and what you're doing isn't working for you, you need to throw in some extra exercises. But if you're a beginner, just doing hammer curls and standard curls is going to be enough for you for at least a couple weeks. Okay, our third type of curl, I don't know, there's some specific name for it, but I call them twisting curls. You're going to start like it's a hammer curl, then you're going to twist your arm up into a standard curl, and then back down into a hammer curl. Like this. Here's a side view. Twisting up, back down, try to keep your elbow in the same position. Like so. Okay. Those are the 3 main free weight bicep exercises. Okay, so this is what's called a preacher curl. You're going to use a bench at an angle, or a preacher bench, and you're going to put your arm out over it, laying flat. And I use a lot less weight. You can see I was using 40s in the last video. This I'm using 20s because this really isolates your bicep. So hopefully you can see this okay. If not, I'll kind of follow along with it. You're going to come down, not touching, but just almost. Keep tension on the muscle. Down like this, and you can come back up to the top. Not all the way up here, because then it's not putting any tension on your muscle anymore. Up here really isn't either, but you try and flex it at the top. So don't stay at the top too long. You'll get most of your results right in this mid-range from about here to right about here. I'd say is where you're getting the best results. Then up from here is just continuing the motion and flexing the muscle and getting that muscle coordination. So, a good exercise for those is to do 3 sets of 10 reps. It's pretty classic. People have been doing it for years and they've been getting great results. So just do what you're comfortable with. And this one is kind of notorious for giving you really sore in your elbows the next day. So don't overdo it. And do it on the other side. Now you might have to get creative with your preacher curls. If you don't have a preacher bench, you can lay off the side of your bed, do something like that, over the back of the couch. That's what I did in high school because I didn't have a preacher bench. You can maybe put your thigh out and tilt a chair up against it. Try that. Just see what works for you. Just whatever you do, try and keep it the same for each arm so you don't end up like with one big arm, one little arm. So we're going to move on to cable curls. What I have here is the double-ended rope attachment. I'm going to pull it down at the very bottom hole. Okay. I'm holding it so the little rubber nubs go up against the tops of my fist. I stand square to the machine. Let my arms down, not all the way straight. I'm going to keep my elbows tucked into my body, but keep them a little bit bent so there's always tension on them. And I'm going to curl up and squeeze. Let it down, but not all the way. Keep the elbows bent, keep the tension up, up. Now when you're doing any exercise, I have to look over at the camera every once in a while, but when you're doing an exercise, you want to keep your head straight, unless I tell you otherwise, because it's going to twist your body a little bit and you're going to build muscle more on one side without even realizing it. So, keep your eyes straight ahead, keep your back straight, don't bend over like this, back straight, elbows tucked, think of your elbows like a hinge, they stay in the same place, they're not coming up like this. If you're doing this, you're doing it wrong. It's not going to help you nearly as much as if you do it right. Okay, even if you can do more weight by going like this, do less weight, do it right, I promise you'll get much better results. So, as always, nice and slow. It's not a jerk. It's not like that. That's not going to help you much. Okay? Unless you're training for some competition where you're going to be a jerk and yank stuff around. It's not worth it. You're going to get much better gains if you're slow and controlled. Get a good squeeze at the top. Back down. My absolute favorite cable exercise. It's going to give you great results. Okay. Here's one that I think you'll really like because it's pretty clever. Okay, so I started noticing I was just doing exercises down here like this. And then when I would flex down here, I thought, oh yeah, my muscles look pretty big. That's pretty good. When I bring them up here though, I didn't think that they were quite as big as they were when they were down here. So why is that? Well, your muscle flexes a different way depending on the position of your arm. Up here, it flexes differently than down here even. And even up here. So if you want that full, biggest muscle you can possibly get in every range of motion, you're going to have to exercise it in all those different ranges of motion. So, the most common flexing position is like this. Why not exercise like that? So you get your single-handed handle. You can have it even with your shoulder. That's the height you're going to set the pulley. Just turn a little bit to the side. Bring it up and flex at the top. Now you probably can't see my foot position, but my feet are real wide because it pulls you this way, so you have to have your feet wide set to keep your balance. But go like this. If you want to come up with your shoulder a little bit at the top, this is the exercise where it's sort of okay. It'll still exercise your shoulder more than it should, but it'll also give you a higher angle. So when you're flexing, if you're one of those people who flexes with their elbow up high, then you'll get results for that. So anyway, we're going to do the classic 3 sets of 10 with this exercise. Now remember, this is sort of a more advanced bicep exercise. Start to diversify your bicep portfolio a little farther along in your training when you're not getting results from what you're doing. So we're coming all the way down on these, all the way up, like so. Okay. Now I'll tell you why I think cables are the superior bicep exercise. When you're doing a regular curl, at the bottom, gravity is pulling the weight straight down. That's not really building any muscle in your bicep. When you're at the very top, it's pulling it straight down. So that's not working out your bicep. Because your bicep is really only active between here and here. Okay? So when you're on the cables, it keeps constant tension on your biceps. Well, those are my favorite bicep exercises. Give them a try, let me know what you think, and remember, as I grow, you grow. Until next time, stay muscle smart.